to Bizchicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. Today is Tuesday. This is the place for tips, tools, and strategies, everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. The digital diva, she's here in the house right now. Terry Johnson online from New York City with all of the latest information that you need to build your social media empire. I said it, your social media empire. So, ready, get a pen, some paper. Let's get started with Coach TJ.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of talking about marketing strategy, all the things you need to know to run your marketing for your business, to grow your business online. As you know, I always say that everything is changing. We got to keep up. And I'm just putting some links in because there is a Pew, let me get this right, from Pew Research Center. They have a report dated November 20th, 2025, titled American Social Media Use 2025. Growing shares of U.S. adults say they are using Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and Reddit, but YouTube still rises to the top. That is the title of the article. It is in the chat. It is in every place where you need to take a look. You can download the PDF if you like, but I have broken it down. I've also written a report, so you'll see at the end how to get that. And we need to talk about this study. And this Pew Research is just one of many. I mean, I think Status does one, Edison Research does one, specifically on podcasts and all. It's everywhere. So, I was like, we need to see this because this is the end of 2025. We're getting ready for 2026. We need to know what the people are doing and thinking online, regardless of the stories you hear about Gen Z not using or not being online. That's not true. There's some that are leaving, but social media is here to stay. And we've said that. We've said that over and over. So I don't know what else to tell you. Email is here to stay. Newspapers are here. Books are here. Even though we have AI, books are here. Books will always be around. Printed media will be around. Social media will be around. It will just evolve. So we need to look at these studies because the numbers, the data will tell us what's going on forward, not back. Okay, everybody's looking back at the chronological and we wanted to do this and that ship is sailed. So we need to sail forward. So we're going to look at this report. Let me bring it up for you. I have a nice little PDF. I think we can see that. Yes. So American social media use 2025. Growing share of U.S. adults say they are using Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and Reddit. But, YouTube is the number one. The number one. And then at the end of this PDF, they have the the technical information about how many people they talk to and the survey sample. I think it was about 5,000 U.S. adults and how they talk about how they did it, who they talked to, and the questions. You can even see the questions they asked. But let's get into it because we need to see the answer to this question they asked in the report. Which online platforms do Americans most commonly use? So let me skip ahead. Oh, here it is. The about. This is about Pew Research Center, nonpartisan, non-advocacy fact tank. They look at the public about issues, attitudes, and trends. So they don't do just social media. They talk to people about everything. So you can take a look at their website. Link is there and see the other offers. And then here's how they did this. They talked to 5,022 U.S. adults from February 5th to June 8th, 2025, and they go into the details of how the survey was conducted. All right, so here's the first slide or the first piece of information we want to look at. So, which online platforms do Americans most commonly use? YouTube and Facebook remain the most widely used online platforms. Not a surprise. YouTube is up there at 64%. Facebook is next at 71%. Instagram comes in at 50%. TikTok at 37, WhatsApp 32, Reddit 26, Snapchat 25. Oh, Snapchat. I thought Snapchat was dead. I did. Snapchat at 25, X, Twitter 21, Threads is 8, Blue Sky, and True Social. Oh, why is True Social on there? We all know why. All right, so the vast majority of U.S. adults say 84% say they've ever used YouTube. Most Americans, 71%, also report using Facebook. These findings are according to a Pew Research Center survey, and they talked about the survey. Half of the adults say they use Instagram, making it the only other platform in the survey used by at least half of Americans. So you have smaller shares with TikTok 37%, WhatsApp 32%, then Reddit, Snapchat, and X, Threads, Blue Sky, and Truth Social. Now, at the bottom here, it says that YouTube is the most widely used online platform among U.S. teens, equal to how it is with adults. So I believe they did 18 and up, and then they have another report that is teens under 18, which they've broken out, which is very smart way to do that. But what do we think about this? I'm not surprised. YouTube is on top. Facebook is number 2. Instagram is number 3. TikTok number 4. Not surprised. I expected this. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Changes in use of online platforms. So Pew Research Center have tracked all of these platforms over the years. This is a growth progression chart. So you can see, again, visually with color, YouTube stands out in red. And for some reason, people want to avoid YouTube because YouTube has this aura or attitude of it's too difficult to grow. And there is a channel, Think Media. I think Sean Cannell. There's others, but Think Media stands out. There's Roberto Blake is another one. He's talked about YouTube for years, and I've seen his growth, like phenomenal. So there's this attitude that, well, you can't do anything on YouTube or you can't grow because it's too hard or whatever it is. And then YouTube came out with shorts. There's a lot of people that have YouTube shorts only channel. They're growing. So it's there. So if you want to know more about, and I think Media is always putting out videos. I think I saw one today about YouTube is changing. It's not too late. So I see a lot of titles on YouTube. YouTube is changing. It's not too late. Instagram is changing. It's not too late. Whatever, it's not too late. LinkedIn, da. So these things are happening. Why? Because this is where everybody is. I tell you, this is the mall. People don't go to the mall. They online shop. They hang out. They use their phone. Don't listen to what's being said in the media about the grumbling and the bad things. I mean, yes, pay attention to that. But if we're talking about business growth, phenomenal. You're talking about being a creator, the creator economy. I talked about that before. We'll talk about that in 2026 and see what the changes and the growth estimates are. It's phenomenally growing. And then we have the people AI slop, and actually slop, I think, is the word of the year from Merriam-Webster. I think I saw in the news today the word slop, AI slop. So I absorb this, the other side of it, and I go, well, I'm not here for XYZ what you're here for. I'm here because this is where everybody's hanging out. I'm running a business and I need eyeballs, traffic, new customers, new people. And this is the place where you can educate them. You can get them into your community, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, your circle, your corral, whatever. This is where it is. And we have to know where everybody is. So it's YouTube, both adults and teens, YouTube. Then Facebook. So you got to plan your strategy according to the data. And this is one we can trust. We can trust this. A lot of things we cannot trust now. A lot of data coming out, especially from the government. I don't trust anything that the government says now. I'm sorry. I don't. They put out numbers report and they put out jobs report and they look. I just I don't even pay attention to it. I'm waiting for the next admin and then I'll be like, okay, what you got? What did you fix? And can we trust you? Because I know that there'll be other independent sources, especially for media. Just for a second, just for media. There's a lot of independent sources who have gone to YouTube. Don Lemon is one. He's grown. When he first started his YouTube and he was doing the he had to deal with Elon Musk and something happened and it didn't go the way that he thought and everybody laughed at him. I'm like, well, you're not laughing now because Don Lemon got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He goes live twice a day. Sometimes more than that. He will do man on the street. He will take these interviews, chop them up. They go to TikTok, Instagram. I'm not sure if LinkedIn, they should be on LinkedIn. But he's taken his core knowledge of, I'm a journalist. I've been doing this job for 30-something years, probably more than that. I think he's in his 50s. He's probably been a journalist for over 30 years. He knows how to interview. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to gather facts. He knows how to put a story. All of those things that he was doing on CNN, he is now doing for himself. And now he gets to speak his mind and say the things that he needs to say. And matter of fact, I think he said this morning that he said some things about what's going on today. And he said, I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. He said, I couldn't say this on CNN, but I'm going to say it the way I want to say it because this is my channel. And that's the beauty of YouTube.
Yep.
You have a mic. Speak up. People will follow you. But I think it's because the attitude of YouTube, you start out at zero. Well, you start at zero everywhere. But we talk about this a lot. I see lots of people in the city, they want to buy a farm in Connecticut and they see the picture and they buy the farm and they get up there and they're like, well, where's the farm? You gotta put some work in. So I don't Right. I don't understand why people think it's instantaneous. I start a YouTube channel and boom, I get 1 million followers or subscribers. Okay. Let me stop there because the YouTube thing, it really gets to me like, you want instant grits or instant oatmeal. I said grits. The Southerner.
Instant grits don't taste good. Sorry.
I don't think I've ever in my life had instant grits because we don't do that. We get the old fashioned and cook it for 20 something minutes, and you have to have the right ratio of water. But see, these are things that were learned over time. Things I learned as a kid, how to make rice, how to make grits out of this. I don't buy the instant anything. Why? Why don't we do instant grits and instant oatmeal?
Because instant is watered. Instant does not have the substance required.
Taste for one. I'm sorry to the kids that have instant oatmeal because oatmeal takes a long time or patience where you have to stir it and this and the burn, and the same thing with grits. You have to put the right water in and stir it and this and that. But let me give you something. Let me give you a little tip. If you buy the right tool, like a rice steamer or an Instant Pot, man, you just put the stuff in and walk away.
Yep.
It's the tools. It's the tools. I don't know how else to say it. So, and I bring up these analogies because I have these conversations when I'm on other forums and things, and they're talking about other things in life. And, I always go in and say, hey, if you're talking about this, that, and that, and it takes so long and this and that and that. And I said, well, get a rice steamer, get a rice cooker, get an Instant Pot, throw everything in there. The Instant Pot now is an air fryer. There's an air fryer Instant Pot combo. You can cook your chicken and brown it with the air fryer. I was like, these are tools that, as a kid, it's like, no, if I wanted a chicken, you had to do this and that and put it in the oven at a certain temperature, and then it has to roast, and then you have to watch it so it doesn't get too brown. Same thing we had Thanksgiving, same thing. You got to watch that bird and baste it and this and that.
And now, but you didn't have an instant bird. You had one that you had to cook,
It's the
right?
same turkey. It's just we're using better tools. Same turkey.
Right. And so instead of um, degrading the quality of the grits, you just get better tools to cook it
See,
faster.
my grandma had a farm. I mean, I remember that they had the old had an old stove, like you threw wood in there. It's like you learn not to get close to that thing. But you think about the turkey. She had to make a turkey in that thing. How did they you're thinking back, well, how did they do it? Well, how did they do it in 1776? Or how did they do it in 1876? It's the same bird. The tools.
And
So now getting to go ahead.
And then, but they also had to go chop the wood to put under the.
Well, the wood got to come from somewhere. It's not walking off the tree.
The tools have gotten better.
Yeah, the tools have gotten better. So I mean, I digress because I don't know how I got on grits and oatmeal, but it's the taste. I don't like instant anything. I don't. But now,
okay, I know you're trying to get off of it, but have you had instant mashed potatoes?
I have. Now that's one thing I have had, but once I made the switch to potatoes, like real, like it does, because people think it takes too long. It doesn't take too long. You peel them, you cut them, you boil. It once you move to the real of it, the realness, the taste of it, you don't go back to the instant.
The consistency. It's potato.
Over
It has,
time.
yeah.
Brings you the value. Same thing with social media. You must put in the work. I'm sorry, people. I don't know what else to tell you. And I think another part of this is that it's about running a race where you see somebody like Sean, like Think Media Sean. He's been doing YouTube since YouTube started, I believe. But so he would be at a place where he's got like 1 million subscribers, whatever his number is, or he knows how to put out videos easily because he's done it the long way. And as you do it more and more and more, you know how to just snap it out, and then you get to the point where your business grows and you hire somebody to do that. See, but you don't start out hiring somebody. You start out turning the ground like the farm. You have to turn the ground over. It has to be turned over by something, a tool you pick or you hire. That's how you get the garden. I want the fresh vegetables. I want the kale and the collard and the tomatoes and the this and the that. Well, it all takes work. So I can only show you the numbers and tell you it is not too late to start your YouTube channel. But you must start it. You will start at 0. And then you will make videos or do what you need to do. And you'll keep doing them. But see, here's the thing. People are looking out the side window going, well, nobody's here. With YouTube, it's not about the subscribers, it's about the views of each video. You must know what each platform values. It's not likes, it's not followers, it's not subscribers. They value how long can your content keep somebody on my platform. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. None of this follower business. No. How long will your content keep people watching and using and being on my platform? When you do that, we reward you. And I keep talking about the CEO of Instagram. He comes out right out and tells you every video he says what it is. Explains in plain language what it is. There's no gatekeeping, but you're not listening. So, all right. So I don't know what else to say about YouTube. It's the top dog. It's been top dog for a long time. Every time we do these studies, YouTube is on top. Oh, it's too late. Nope. There is and actually YouTube is skewing a lot older. I've seen videos from older people talking about how older people can get on YouTube and be successful at the things they want to do. There's a lot of topics there. So, YouTube. So let's look at the next one. Oh, what's on this slide? It says TikTok. So they talk about TikTok. 37% of US adults report using this platform, which is slightly up from last year and up 21% in 2021. So we all know what's going on with TikTok. It's supposed to be banned. It's supposed to be bought. That guy said that he made a deal. Turns out that he did not make a deal. As I might have said that. I might have said there's no deal because China was silent. Those people over there in Asia was quiet. And here he comes. Oh, I've set up the perfect deal, the big beautiful deal, and this company and Oracle. I don't know who else was. He was like, it's done. I've talked to the president and DTD of China and blah 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 blah. This was a few months ago. I was like, yeah, okay. So here we are, December. Here's another deadline of it must be sold or blocked, or we're gonna remove it. All they're doing is kicking the can down the road because he did not make any deal with anybody over in China.
No, the Chinese people, they're all like, did y'all get that memo? Did anybody?
They're like, what? So you would think, well, why didn't the president of China get on and dispute? That's not how they do things. They sit back and let you. Oh, you want to talk about you made a deal, and yeah, okay. And they're going about their business with their 50-year plan of how they're going to, the things that they do, because they look at longevity over there. So that was it. I was like, well, only one side is talking about this big, beautiful deal. I was like, well, the other side is silent. And if you know the other side, when they're silent, that means something. They're like, let the Americans put egg on their faces and look stupid in public. Because there is no deal.
No.
They're not going to sell. I think I said that on day one. I got to go back and see. Because how long has this TikTok thing been going on? At least
a couple of years now, right? Who started? Wait, who started this whole TikTok thing?
Well, it started with this guy. He attacked it first because the kids got on and made fun of his he had some kind of rally with tickets, and they went and messed the system up.
They said, okay.
They all got the tickets and nobody should. So he's had it out for the youngsters, but that's what the Gen Z, that's what they do. So he's had it out for them, and then some things happened, and then Biden signed a, it must be sold and this and that, and nobody talked about the TikTok ban anymore. When it first came out, people were like, oh my God. And I was like, China has to sell. They haven't agreed. They won't agree. They won't agree. So here we are. But TikTok, you can still use it. Some things I noticed about TikTok this offhand is that a lot of the views are down. I think some people have reported about that. It's just one of these things that, it was great. It was a great ride, especially pre-pandemic, because I think we've been talking about it since 2019, 2018. But the pandemic, pandemic is when it really took off and everybody made their money. And now it's like, well, okay. I think TikTok has matured. So, but it's still viable because it's here on the list. 37% of US adults. That's a big number. This is not even global, because there is a global report that we looked at about TikTok. And of course, TikTok is banned. Who banned it? India? I think India banned it.
They banned it early on.
Yeah, early. Yeah, but they were heavy. Their teen Gen Z group was heavy users. And they banned it. I think Russia, somebody else has banned something recently, but
okay. I think India is trying to put asking all of the like Apple and the rest of them to install to keep the location services on
Right.
automatically, and
Right.
where
So they
people
can
can't
track.
turn them on. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
So
that's a little
yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. And then we have Australia that has their, minors. So things are happening globally, but this is the US. So we've tried to get some kind of social media law or internet law or private. We've been trying for a long time. I don't know if we'll get there. So in the meantime, all of these things are available to use for your business. So use them while they're here. And remember, there's no charge now. Now, Meta wants to charge us, and they do charge for verification and all the things that you can pay for, but pretty much you download the app and post away. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of social media right now. So, um, there's some things that are not beautiful. I'm not talking about that. We're talking the society part of it, the mental health part of it. We're talking about the business use. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking business here, not you can get that information. It's widely available about social media is dangerous and this and that, and we can get into that. All right, so Instagram. Half of US adults now report using it, which is on par with last year, but up from 40% in 2021. Now, Instagram is, again, one of these apps that it was niche when it came out. The millennials were using it very, very, very much. The older people that are on Facebook was not using it, but now the growth is they are moving over because Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp and all, they're under the umbrella of Meta. So Meta and Threads. So Meta puts all of these together. They put all these apps together because if you're a Facebook user, you might become an Instagram user because it's cross posting. If you're an Instagram user, you might be a Threads user because of the connection and the cross posting. Then you have Facebook to cross post to Threads. So I've seen, and that's the funniest thing. I've seen a lot of that on Threads where a post will go viral and the person doesn't know why, and they get responses from people on Threads, and it's because there's some setting in Facebook that if you post in Facebook, it goes to Threads. So people have been posting things in Facebook, not knowing anything about Threads, wondering why they get all of these responses from strangers on the internet. It's because it's been cross-posted Threads and it went viral. I've seen a bunch of these where people are like, what they, and these are older folks on Facebook going, what happened? What happened? And people are like, you're on Threads, dummy. And they're like, what's that? It's because Meta has done the cross posting. So I just find it
And
funny.
people have not read the updates and things when
Yeah, this is setting to turn off that you don't,
right.
And again, this goes back to the older cohort generation using Facebook and not knowing the settings. Like Fran said, and Meta doesn't do this secretly. They put out blog posts and notices and pop-ups and and people, you ignore it because you're still stuck and Facebook is friends and family only, which it is not, has been not, and not like that for the last 5 years at least. Okay. But I just think it's funny. I go to Threads and you see these, it's like a one post that goes, I mean, it gets like 20K likes or something, and then all these people post. So again, the original poster goes, who are you? Why are you commenting on my post? And people are like, you're on Threads, dummy. And they're like, what's that? Because they posted from Facebook. It's just hilarious. I've seen a lot of that. So it's just crazy. So I laugh. A lot of it is funny, but for business wise, yeah, we want that. I want that. Who doesn't want that? If you post on Facebook, you want it to automatically go to all these other places without me having to post it. And then Threads goes, hey, I'm going to push this out for you. Hey, who doesn't want that? That's exposure. But if you're not running a business and you're on Facebook thinking friends and family, I'm going to post this thing of a chair or this or that. You get mad when strangers say things to you.
But okay, I guess maybe they didn't want to go viral, but there are
Mm-hmm.
people who want to go viral there.
You get it, your account gets exposed, and then guess what? On Threads, they go investigate your profile.
Yes.
And here's the thing about Threads: they investigate your Threads profile, and then they look at your Instagram profile. Who doesn't want that as a business? But these people are like, well, who are you, and why are you posting on my? I've seen a lot of that. Like they respond to all the people. Like, why are you posting on thinking that it's Facebook and friends and family only when it's not that at all? So that's Meta.
Right. They have not realized that the environment, the landscaping, the house has been remodeled.
Everything's changed. You was inside with your
Uh,
1970
wait,
decor, but outside we did 2025 decor. We remodeled the outside of your house while you was inside, looking at your
mhm.
avocado fridge
Yes, it has
and
changed.
your shag carpeting. We was
And the
outside
popcorn
making this thing.
ceilings.
We were outside making this thing look like 2025, 2026. And you go out, what in the, who did this? I don't know. So I'm, as a business, you want that. So these numbers reflect that. But it just, these are some of the things I'm talking about. Just my personal experience, like using it and getting a feel and seeing the conversations. It's just so funny to me that people just don't understand, and they're all older and older people, and they're like, what is going on? I don't know you. I'm like, this is the internet. What are you talking about? This is not a family gathering at your house. You invited a family. This is everybody. You open the door to the world. You
Come
open the door
on
to the world. You
in.
mad because somebody from Bangladesh or whoever came and knocked on your door and said, hey, I saw you post that pie. What's the recipe? And they're like, oh, it's really funny. It's really funny.
And that is why you need to keep up.
Yes.
That's why you need to check in here on Tuesdays so you
Yeah.
know what's happening and you're not
Yes.
caught off guard.
Yes. Check your settings.
Because it is still happening.
Check your settings. And guess what? We got this wonderful thing called AI. Pick your tool and ask it, how do I turn this off? You'll get instructions. So there's no more in the dark. We're not in the dark anymore. All right. So the next one on here, WhatsApp and Reddit. About a third say they use WhatsApp, up from 23% in 2021 and 26% today report using Reddit, compared with 18% 4 years ago. YouTube and Facebook continue to sit at the top. The shares of Americans who report using them have remained relatively stable. That's a good thing. We want it to stay stable. We want that, it would be a nice, we would like to see the numbers go up, and it will. Next year there'll be a little slight increase in numbers, but that's a good thing. We want that. We want to see that as businesses. We want to see that. All right, so this one is large age gaps in the use of platform. Now we're getting into, where the age gaps, older, younger, Gen Z, Gen X, boomers, and all that. So you want to see the difference. So here at this graph here, it says adults under 30 are far more likely to use Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Reddit. And then the first one, you see the Instagram, you will see the youngest, oldest difference is a 61%. What, not percent, but a 61 number increase from 18 to 29 to 65. Because what this tells you is that Instagram, a lot of older people aren't there. That's a good thing, because if that's your generation that you market to, get on Instagram, because they're going to be coming. What all of this data is about, why these numbers are important, because you want to know where people are going to go, especially in your audience. If they're 60 and up, they're going to be on Instagram sometime soon. They're going to be on Threads. The reason why I talk about Threads, they're going to be on Threads because of the connection of Meta putting these all together. And like I just told you the story about, well, who are you and how did you find my post? They're going to go over. You're going to investigate. Some will stay on Threads and some will close the door and say, I don't want any of that, because they're older. And it depends on, the things that they want to do. But Instagram, there's the biggest gap here in the age difference, but you want to take advantage of that. If your age group is 60, here they have 65 and up. They're going to go there slowly. But that's also a good thing. We want slow growth, steady growth. They're coming over. You are going to be there like the Walmart greeter. Hey, welcome to Walmart. Come on in. What are you looking for? Oh, that's aisle. Oh, you need a this and that. That's over in lawn. You want to be there. You don't want them to go over to Instagram and go, well, how do I find the thing that I want? You want to be right there. Hey, I've been waiting for you. I got this, and this for you. Come on over. That's what you want to do. This is the purpose of this. Seeing these numbers. Here's another one, Snapchat. The big age, youngest, oldest difference, 54. That's big. Now, here's talk a little bit about Snapchat. It's not being used by the older group. Not in the way that you think. Some older people are there because the grandkids take them over, because 13 to 20 something, they use Snapchat as a messaging, private messaging, a secret club, secret communications. It's outside of what's happening on public Instagram and everything. So and I think I've said this before, the older generation, they want to talk to, the grandchild. They want to talk on the phone, and grandkid is like, they don't answer the phone. They don't use the phone. They text and they use Snapchat. So guess what? What do? Whenever, the holidays, perfect time, show you get grandma or grandpa on your Snapchat on their phone. You download it and you say, this is how you reach me. You want to talk to me? I answer instantly. If you call me, I'm not answering. Because that's how kids are. They don't use the phone.
They do not.
They don't use the phone. But grandma and grandpa want to talk to their kids, their grandchildren. They don't see them. How do you see them? Used to be on Facebook. Not anymore. The grandkids is not going on Facebook, no matter how many times you post, happy birthday, Timmy. You're 13. Timmy ain't seeing that thing.
Timmy will not see that.
Timmy's not there. The parents see it and they go, oh, all of the aunts and uncles and all of the older relatives are seeing it. Timmy's like, what's going on? I'm over here on Snapchat. So that's the use of it. So I don't see Snapchat being this thing where 65 and up. I don't even see it as Gen X being on it that much, unless they're in technology, unless it's their thing. Tech is their thing, then they're on Snapchat for a different reason.
Well, okay. How long has Snapchat been out?
2010, 20.
Okay, sure. So those people are now in their 40s.
Mm-hmm. And they're still there.
And they'll be there on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And their kids might be there too, but
right. Because see, there's the Snapchat is one of those unusual platforms where there's a public side and a private. And I talked about this, about the private groups and the group chat with the family, and nobody wants to talk public anymore because you get attacked. So everybody's doing things undercover, Periscope marketing, where they are privately doing things. They could be Messenger, it could be WhatsApp, it could be Snapchat. Private, there's a private section of Snapchat that doesn't see the light of day.
Mm-hmm.
The secret club. Like the Little Rascals, Women Haters, He-Man, Women Haters, Secret Club, something they had a little club. All these little shows have the kids have their secret club that the older people can't get in. That's what Snapchat is. So it's happening. Things are going. Things are going on there. All right. So it says, for instance, 8 and 10 adults age 18 to 29 say they use Instagram. This is higher than the share seen among older age groups. 65 and older, and that's going to grow. YouTube and Facebook are the only sites asked about that a majority in all age group use. Though for YouTube, the younger adults are still the most likely to do so. This differs from Facebook, where 30 to 49-year-olds most commonly say they use it 80%. So again, Facebook, the 30 to 49, 65 and up, that's their place to hang out. YouTube is the more rounded one where everybody is there. So you have to decide where you want to be.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi's here. Decide where you want to be. But the numbers are here. All right, so it goes into differences by gender, race, and ethnicity, education, and party. It goes into politics. There's some other, graphs here if you want to take a look at the breakout. The total U.S. number of adults, and then it's broken out by men and women, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, ages 18 to 29, 30 to 49, 50 to 64, 65 and up. Goes into household income, goes into education, high school, some college plus. It goes into location, urban, suburban, rural. Then it goes into your party, Republican, Democrat. So they really ask the questions, and I believe this is a self survey, which means that nobody's asked. There's not a person asking them. I think you have you self take the survey, like you take it. Like there's nobody asking you. They don't call you on the phone and say, "Hey, are you a Democrat? Are you?" This is all a self survey. So it really goes deep into the numbers. If you're interested in this, take a look. And then also, it's broken by YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, Reddit, Snapchat, X, Threads, Blue Sky, True Social. Okay. Frequency of social media use. So they want to know how frequently they visit a particular site or app. Greater shares of Americans visit Facebook and YouTube daily, other than other sites. About half of U.S. adults say they visit each of these platforms at least once a day. This includes the 37% who visit Facebook several times a day, and the 33% who say the same of YouTube. About a quarter, 24%, say they are daily users of TikTok. Fewer than 10% report daily use of X, and that's just a slow down. Like X is it's a car that's the gas is still in it, but it's not there. So think about where you want to be. Facebook and YouTube. YouTube comes on top of everything. It's like, where should you do this? What's the top this? YouTube. What's the top that? YouTube. What's the next one? Facebook. What's the next one? Instagram. So this talks about daily use. And this is what you want to see. Daily use. Not I have an account and I go once a month. Not I have an account, I go once a week. I might think about it when I'm bored and standing in the line for something, and I might go, no, this is daily. Like they actively go there. YouTube, Facebook, several times a day. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. We want to see this. All right. Daily use of social media by age. They've broken it out by age. So Facebook, they're saying roughly half of 18 to 29-year-olds say they go, TikTok. Half of 18 to 29-year-olds say they go to TikTok at least once a day, compared with just 5% of adults age 65 and older. And we've talked about that a lot, about TikTok, about it does skew younger, teens and Gen Z. And, a lot of older people aren't there. Some are. But if you're there, you're getting the benefit of it. There's also an age gap for X, but X is, I'm not a, like I said, that car is just ghost car. I like to call it a ghost car. So for Facebook, the two middle age groups are most likely to report going on it daily. 58% of 30 to 49-year-olds and 54% of 50 to 64-year-olds go to Facebook. So again, where's your group? Who's your group? Is your group 30 to 49? They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram, but they're on Facebook. They're on this. They're on YouTube too. They're on TikTok. But if you want to say, hey, where do I need to go? It's Facebook. 50 to 64-year-olds is 54%. And this is daily, not I have an account, not I check it out once a month, once a week. This is every doggone day. They're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, they're on TikTok. What does that mean as a business? More chances to get in front of your target audience with the right content. Like I was saying about Instagram, you want to be the Walmart greeter. You want to be there ready with all the stuff they need to know, however they need to know and what they need to know. And you know that. That's your target audience. That's your group. Those are your people. So you know what they want and need. So you give it to them and you're standing there. You're the greeter. You're the hostess. Let me sit you over here in this table in the center of the room so everybody can see you if that's what they want. Or I'm going to put you over here in the back because you're on a date and something, you know, the things that you need to do because you know what they need. And daily, you want to look at the daily. How's everything going? All right. So there's some, appendix. There's some breakout of numbers. There's some acknowledgments. There's, how they did the survey and everything. So again, this is Pew Research. Pew Research. So what do we think of that? I mean, it was short and sweet. I like that. It wasn't like
Me too.
a long drawn out thing. And so that's what I was saying. It's really social media as of that. I think it was June, July. I gotta go back and check the date. But they'll do it again in a couple of months and then we'll get to see. But it's been consistently YouTube. Consistently YouTube. YouTube comes out on top.
And so then we need to continually take a look at the numbers, find out where, like you said, find out where our people are or the people that we are trying to reach, and check and find out where they've gone.
Yeah.
And what we see is that they haven't gone from YouTube at all.
No.
They not migrated.
Up, right? It's increased a little.
They have not left Facebook. Although, some people talked about Facebook is for.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's a lot of talk, and a lot of it is tech journalists or this or that. They've been saying Snapchat is dead since Snapchat came out, and I forgot. I was going to look up the date, but whatever. Snapchat is still here. It's like, oh, it's dead. It's dead for you if you're 49 or 50 or 60. It's not. That's not where you're going to hang out. That's not the party place for you. But if you're 13 to 29, you're over there.
Mm-hmm.
You're over there.
That's
now go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just had a wild thought. That's all.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
So when should we watch when a public switches from one platform to another? Say, for instance, Snapchat. At some point, you get I'm not going to say uncomfortable, but you move to another platform.
Well, they might, but I gotta look up the date for Snapchat. But remember, when Snapchat came out, that was the younger crowd, and if it's been 10 years, they're in a different place now. Just like we talked about when millennials came out, and now they're older. They have, they're buying houses. Their kids are might be going to college. They have moved into an older space, into a space of doing things in an older group, kind of like they do different things. They might have started out, doing the teen stuff, but if it's 10, 15 years later, they're doing different things. They're looking at growing up, getting older, and looking at buying houses or 401ks but they might still use Snapchat. They're just looking at things differently, or the conversation different.
Okay, because it came out in 2011.
Okay, 2011. Okay, there you go. So now we're 2025, and they don't. The people that started out with it might not abandon it. They just their group grows older. Because remember, the Snapchat isn't. There's a public side, yeah. But if I'm older now, I might not look at the public side, but I might want to have my conversations with my group, who are all with me, and we can have our conversation privately behind the screen. Again, I've said this before, that people, the public side, if you post things publicly, things are happening where strangers are attacking you, or they're like I said, the virality of the post, and you got strangers commenting on your personal stuff, and you don't want that. So you have the conversation in a private way, the group chat that only the group knows about. Snapchat is perfect for that. And again, they're used to going in. They might wake up and go to Snapchat, whereas other people wake up and go to Facebook, or wake up and go to Instagram.
Exactly. So I think it's wherever you started, wherever you cut your teeth on social media, that's probably where you hang out.
That's like when Facebook first started, it was college students. Everybody's older now, but they're still there using it. But they may be they moved into an older cohort of age group where they talk about different things. They're not talking about college anymore. They're talking about other things. Well, their kid is going to college. Their kid is going to college now. Mm-hmm. But they're still Facebook. Hey, I just dropped my kid off at school. Those kind of things, the conversation that happen. And remember, Facebook has still has the groups. People want to go, and birds of a feather. And they want to hang out. So I asked my assistant to come up with some things. So these are some of the FAQs that came out of this study. So it was like, which social media platforms are the most popular among U.S. adults? So it's YouTube and Facebook. Which platforms are growing the fastest right now? So TikTok went from 21% to 37%. Instagram grew 40% to 50%. WhatsApp, we talked about that a little bit. WhatsApp grew from 23% to 32%, and Reddit grew from 18 to 26. Which age groups use social media the most? Younger adults under 30 are most likely use most online platforms than older groups, like Instagram, Snapchat, which we just talked about, TikTok, and Reddit. Which platforms do Americans use every day? Facebook and YouTube. So that was what we ended with, was that half of all U.S. adults report visiting these sites at least once a day. So that's daily. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. We want to hear that they're doing that. And I had, let me see if I can find it, because it didn't update here. Because we want to talk about the strategy real quick. Like, yeah, okay, it's good to know the numbers and everything, but what can we do with this? How can we create our engagement strategy? So you want to match your content to the platform's audience and usage habits. So when you know the numbers, you know how to behave, you can plan accordingly. So you want to do that, and you want to maximize widespread reach. You want to capture the future growth. That's when I talked about I was talking about Instagram, whereas there's not, the older people aren't there, 65 and up, but they're going to come, so you might want to be there. So you want to develop your content for these platforms when they get ready to come over. And then you want to look at the demographics of gender, race, even the political leaning, because that will give you a flavor for how to, what to talk about or what not to talk about. Like if your group is all maybe Democratic or independent, then some of the things you can mention, some of the popular things or some of the news stories that's going around, and that your crowd is not going to attack you, versus if they're Republicans or whatever, then what the conversations are going on politically around that, and what you can say and what you can't say. So that's why you want to look at some of these things by gender, race, political leaning, income. That helps you refine your message pretty much, and get a feel for the messaging and the language that you can use. Okay, and that's it. That's the study. I thought it was something that we need to talk about.
I like the studies. just because we need to know what's happening. We need to kind of, oh, this is trending up, or this is staying
Yeah, and
where it
you
has
want
been.
the number. You want the numbers because you don't want to go by, well, they said, or who, or the feeling of people go, well, I think so and so. I was like, well, no, you need the data.
Right.
Like, oh, Instagram is the most pop. No, it's not. It's YouTube. Really? Yeah, YouTube. Why?
And
Because we talked about this. What was that about the video of somebody had the hammer and the nail that was like 12, 15 years old and still like
it is
generate views?
yeah, because people, okay, when I wanted, okay, so I got some fresh pineapple, like fresh pineapple with the
Yeah, the
leaves in the top.
pineapple. Yes, with
Yeah, and
the
I'm
actual
like,
pineapple.
not in a can, not in chunks,
The pineapple.
a pineapple. And so I'm thinking, okay, now what am I going to do with this?
How do you cut that?
I went to YouTube to learn how to cut the pineapple. I needed to see it. I didn't want to hear about how to do it. I need somebody to show me how to cut up this pineapple.
Exactly. And I did the same thing because I don't know if I said it before about the flan that I made. We went to the store and we bought, because every around where I'm at, it's all over. You could go, and I've never like bought some. And we were in the grocery store, and my daughter was like, "Hey, let's get this." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm not gonna spend $9 on a slice. I can make my own." I'm like, it's just egg and this and that. And so, but I was like, there's different ways. There's different ways of doing it. Like there's a Mexican one and there's a this and that. So I was like, I want the one that tastes like up here. So I watched some YouTube videos and I was like, okay, based on what they were doing, I was like, that's authentic. So I found one where the lady was making it. I made it, and then we were all like, I had to give some to the neighbors because it's just too much. I can't eat because it only lasts 2 or 3 days, and then it's
Yeah,
doesn't
but
taste good.
but you had the authentic flan.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying about YouTube. I was like, okay, well, I can look at a recipe on a website, or I could go to one of the recipe websites or whatever. But I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to YouTube because somebody is going to show me, and I can visually see the person. I'm sorry, I'm going to go by visual on this because this is a cultural thing. So I need to look at somebody that's like, I'm like, there's a guy over there that's making it, but he looks yuppie. He looks like he lives on the Upper West Side. I'm like, no, I need Upper Manhattan people.
I need the people who are, the seasoning.
Yes,
and
I
everything.
need the people that somebody's grandma, somebody's aunt, or my grandma taught me, or my aunt taught me, I love that there's a lot of channels where they talk about their Puerto Rican heritage or the Dominican heritage, or I love those because when I want to make their food, I want to make it the way they make it. I don't have anything against the yuppie guy, but I was like,
okay. So I'm gonna tell you the story of because we all grew up with people who made greens and mac and cheese and stuff, Southern cooking.
Yes.
So there was this restaurant here in Sacramento, and everybody was raving about their barbecue. So the barbecue, yes, the barbecue meat was good, but for greens, they had kale.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, who told you kale was greens? Okay, that's one.
Well, kale is good, but it's not green.
It's not greens.
Right. But people do kale and mustard and turnip.
No, these were kale, and they were kind of sauteed, not cooked.
Well, okay. I like kale. I've sauteed it, but that's not the Southern style. And
that's not Southern style.
And when you get greens, it's usually collard greens.
Right. Or Swiss chard or something, but they are green.
But sometimes people mix it up because I think I had a relative that like I don't like the turnip ones, but they would mix them up but the consistency is collard when you say greens.
When they're green, but they were greens with ham hocks and stuff. It was green.
Okay. Right.
That didn't happen. And then they have mac and cheese with rotilli, the little round the
Yes,
the
fusilli or okay. So all right, let's real quick on that. There's a lot of the younger crowd on TikTok with the different types of pasta and I've watched a couple of those because the kids are raving about it. I was like, no, just plain elbow.
this was the macaroni looked like a thimble, the one that looks
Yes,
it looked
yes,
like a thimble. I'm like,
yes.
and it wasn't cheese. It
Wasn't
was
cheese.
cheese, but it wasn't. I was like, mac and cheese is
Oh,
not
they
supposed to
made a
be
roux.
small.
That's the roux style that's popular now. They make a bechamel and they melt the cheese and then they do something. There's another term, cooking term, and then they mix that up and then they bake it. And I'm like, no, I don't do that.
Okay, see, mac and cheese. Now, when I worked at this restaurant, we
Mhm.
had the best mac and cheese, and I watched the chef. I sit there and watch him do what he did. I'm like, oh, that's the secret. And the secret is the chicken stock. I can't
There
tell
you go.
y'all all the rest of it because we would have to not have you
Yeah, we
take
went through this Thanksgiving. They were all on social media, the mac and cheese wars. It was crazy. I was like, listen, eat it the way you want. I like it the way I like when I grew up and how my relatives make it. So, but that's the thing is like they make a cheese sauce and they cook it and this and oh this is so cheesy. They throw mozzarella in there and this and that. I'm like this is
mozzarella
not
does not
pizza.
go in mac and cheese. I'm
This is
sorry.
this is not pizza. Oh, because they want
No,
when they show the videos on TikTok, they want to show the cheese stretching out like a pizza. I'm like, that's not mac and cheese.
no.
But you do you,
Kraft,
people.
okay, I'm gonna say this. Kraft is closer to the mac and cheese that you're supposed to have than the one with mozzarella. That no
Because they
mozzarella.
like, oh, look at the cheese. I was like,
Mm-mm.
what are you people do? And it's usually younger people. Like, I'm like, this is not pizza.
This ain't mac and cheese. Come on,
You
y'all.
don't you don't throw all of that stuff in. But hey,
And then the one of my husband's aunt said, This is
this
not
ain't mac and no,
this
this
ain't."
ain't mac and cheese.
He was like, "Mm-mm. What is this?"
Anytime I see them throw bread, and if they throw breadcrumbs on top, I know it ain't. I'm like, nope. That's y'all's cheese. That's y'all's mac and cheese.
Mm-mm. You have to do it right. So we're
No.
saying this before we get to the holiday. If you're having mac and cheese, make sure it's authentic mac and cheese.
But see, some people like that, and I'm like, good, because there was a whole fight about egg versus no egg, and this and that. I was like, do what you want, people,
But
but
just don't call it authentic mac and
don't tell
cheese.
me I'm wrong because I put an egg. I put an egg. I'm like, because that's how I was taught. But you don't want to put an egg, then don't. That's on you. Enjoy. Yours is not better than mine. It's what I like.
Well, yes, we can go off on our little rants sometimes.
Yeah, because
Just
it's the
'cause
holidays and people we getting ramped up again for more food wars online. So there'll be things there. And I did have my assistant Jessica write me a little report, a little wrap up of this report with all the things that I said. So if you want it, go to terryjohnsononline.com/info. Make sure you get into my community. Just sign up. It'll be in there. And I love what the platform I'm using because it sends an email out. So you don't have to worry about this, that, and the other. You just join the little community and you'll get an email when I post something or make a this or
I
whatever's
love
there.
it. And that's how you can stay in connection with any of us.
Yes.
TJ and with bizchicks.net. You can just go to bizchicks.net and then you will be able to get on our list, and we're not going to spam you. We're not
No.
going to just flood your inbox just because that's not
No.
how we work.
That's not how we want to do it. That's
Mm-mm.
not the way to do it. We don't want to anger anybody.
We just want to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And in order to take
Exactly.
the hassle out of your hustle, we give you an easy way to receive our content and things that'll help you to take the hassle out of your hustle. So with that in mind, we will see you next time on our next adventure.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna let Brittany take us home.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.